Hello Cavern fans, and welcome back to Andy's Cavern for some more boxing chat. How we all doing out there? All good, I hope. Tonight I'm going to look at my personal top 10 world heavyweight fighters. You don't have to agree with me, this is just my view at the moment, but as fights happen, the list will change, the top 10 will change. That's just nature of the beast, isn't it? So you can always say in the comments what your top 10 is. It's probably different from mine. You don't have to agree with me, it's only my opinion. I'm not here to tell people what to think or anything like that, as I've said over and over again. And at the risk of repeating myself, I'll give you my top 10. Like I say, you'll have a different top 10 to me, but it might be the same fighters in a different order, but here we go, I'll give you mine. At number 10 is Filip Hrgović. He's come off a loss with Daniel Dubois, but when you see what Daniel Dubois did to Anthony Joshua, it kind of makes Filip Hrgovic's stock rise a bit, I would say, because he gave Dubois a far better fight than Joshua was able to give him. So he's at number 10. Number 9, fresh in, is Fabio Wardley. He's had a good win the other night there. First round KO, Big Fraser Clark, which was a horrible ending to the fight. So we wish Fraser Clark all the best and hope he makes a speedy and full recovery. If he chooses not to carry on with his boxing career, I wouldn't blame him. But well done, Fabio Wardley. For a guy that's come from a white collar background, I'm sure I heard somewhere he's only had 4 white collar fights, no amateur experience, so he's done very well. And I think he's gate crashed into the top 10 world heavyweights, in my opinion. Like I say, I'm only a fan, I'm not an expert. At number 8, it's Anthony Joshua. Some people might have him higher, but for me, the beating he took there, and nothing against the man, but the beating he took there, and the fact his opposition hasn't been brilliant. Eddie Hills will tell you something different, because he's the Anthony Joshua salesman, isn't he? The matchroom salesman. So he'll probably stick a new set of tyres on him and a new MOT and stick him back out again, but I don't want to see Anthony Joshua taking the straight rematch with Dubois, because I think that'll just ruin him altogether. If he wants to carry on fighting, that's up to him. That's fair enough. There's probably a few big fights out there left for him, maybe 2 or 3 big fights. But I don't want to see him fight Dubois again, because I think Dubois is too young, fresh and eager for Joshua to go back in with. And I don't think his head will be in the right place to go into a rematch with him again. It would just be a bad move. There's other fights I'd rather see him have. Number 7, Ajit Kabayel. He's one of the most avoided fighters in the heavyweight division. And he had a good win against Frank Sanchez. I think that was last time out. So I believe he's been ordered by the IBF to fight Martin Bakole for a mandatory position. So he's another dark horse in the race, Ajit Kabayel. So that'll be a good fight, him and Bakole. Who am I backing? I'm going to back Bakole, but it will be a good fight. That is a tough fight for both of them. So, but I'm backing Martin Bakole, because I think he's got big things to come his way. He went to France to fight Tony Yoka and absolutely battered him for, I think it was, I can't remember, it was 10 or 12 round fight. He only just got it on the scorecard, so it just showed you they were trying to, they weren't wanting to let him out of there with a win, with it, in France. And then he went over to America and beat their next big prospect, Jared Big Baby Anderson. And you've probably all seen what he done to him. So Bakole's an avoided man. Number 6, I've got Zhili Zhang. He's got a good win over Wilder. I think that was his last time out. So he's another guy that not too many people want to fight, I think. Now I believe Martin Bakole and him were trying to get a fight on, but Zhang didn't want it. So whether that's right or not, that's just what I've heard. So we'll wait and see. Billy Nelson said that. And Martin Bacole's trainer, and he's a straight talker, straight shooter. There's no BS with Billy. So I'll take him at his word on that. And at number 5, we've got Martin Bakole in at number 5. So the reason I've got him at number 5 is because all the guys I've got below him, I believe he would beat. So below him, as already said, number 6, Zhang. Number 7, Kabayel. Number 8, Anthony Joshua. Number 9, Fabio Wardley. Number 10, Filip Hrgovic. I believe Bakole would beat all of them. He just needs opportunities, doesn't he? He's probably the most avoided man in boxing. So let's see him get the fights. I think Bricktop will not be too keen on putting his heavyweights in against him. I'm sure somebody asked him about Zhang fighting Bakole, and Bricktop said, "Oh, I don't know about that." He says, "Oh, but Zhang's got a rematch with Parker or something." So we haven't heard any more about that. I haven't anyway, as of yet. So I kind of back Bakole. I can see him winning a title once the titles get fragmented or whatever happens going forward. At number 4, I've got Joseph Parker. The things have gone quiet with him. I'd like to see him back in the ring sometime soon. I think he holds the WBO interim title. I think he took that off Zhang, who took it off Big Joe Joyce, who sort of, don't know if he's coming to end his career or well, he'll re-emerge again. Big Joe, he's just lost to Chisora, so that was a fight I thought he'd have won, but if he hadn't been dropped, I think it was the 8th round he got dropped, I had him leading in points up until just, I would have thought, if it wasn't for the knockdown, I thought he might have just scraped it on points against Chisora, but fair play to Chisora. He did the business, kept himself in the picture, didn't he, for another fight, though personally I'd like to see him retire a good while back, but it's not to me though, is it? If he wants to keep fighting and he's passing medicals, who am I to stop the man making a living? Parker at number 4 then. Number 3, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. He's got his rematch coming up with Usyk. Can he win? Possibly. I think what he'll do is come in heavier and just set about Usyk and try and get him out of there, but can he do it? If he can get himself in the right mindset, there's a possibility he can do it. You can't rule him out altogether. He is a good fighter. One of the top, well, I would say he was the top heavyweight for a long time there. But like some other fighters, I feel his career's stagnated. Time's passed him by, which is unfortunate. I feel you can see all these things happening now, but it's like inactivity is probably the enemy of all boxers, isn't it? One of the biggest enemies of all boxers. And his career stopped and started. Not always his fault, but for various reasons. I just feel his best days are past him, and his legs are not probably what they were. I think he's 36 now, so he's got to be near the end of his career. And to be honest, he hasn't lived the life the likes Klitschko or Usyk. All these guys, like Eastern European guys, the discipline and the way they live their lives is exemplary, isn't it? And like they're always training, always keeping in shape. If you doubt what I'm saying, go and watch some of Usyk's training videos and Artur Beterbiev's training videos, because they're unbelievable. And personally, I think a lot of the fighters in this country should take a leaf out of their book. Fighters in all countries should take a leaf out of their book, and that allows them to fight on longer, I think. It prolongs their career and allows them, you know, a longer career, obviously. So can Fury do it? There's a chance he could do it, but I just can't see it. I just think Usyk's just he's something special. I think he'll go down as an all-time great, Usyk, and I think he could have fought in any era and been very successful. I think Fury could have fought in most eras, probably any era, and give a good account of himself. I'm not saying he would have beat everybody, but I think Usyk is something special. To an extent, Fury's size and reach and weight and all that would be huge advantages over many heavyweights from the past. But if you get a fighter like Usyk who can negate all these things and use people's size against them, he's something special, Usyk, isn't he? So, but he's not going to be about forever, so we've got to enjoy him while he's here. He's 38 now, I think he is. So time waits for no man, and Father Time is undefeated. So maybe that's it. What will beat Usyk in the end is time, if he doesn't retire at the right time. So number 2, I've got Dynamite Daniel Dubois, Triple D. Now that he's shaking the triple knee moniker off, he's certainly, I think Dubois has come of age in his last few fights. I know he lost against Usyk, but I think he would have taken a lot of confidence from that fight. And he's really come into his own, Dubois. When he came out to face Joshua, he was very sort of Tyson-esque from the 80s. He had the black shorts, black boots, the black poncho thing on. He came out and he had a sweat on, bouncing about, raring to go, wasn't he? When you seen Joshua come out, he was a bit statuesque, wasn't he? He wasn't moving about much. He looked like he was a man being led to the gallows or whatever. I've heard a few people saying, I do agree with that. But Dubois was raring to go from the start, wasn't he? So fair play to Dubois. He's really come of age, and he's 27, so he's got time in his hands, doesn't he? So he's a big puncher. They're talking about a rematch with Joshua. Personally, I don't want to see that. I think that's a bad fight for Joshua. I'd rather see Dubois fight somebody like Parker or Caballero. I think that would be a better fight in my book. What I'd like to see anyway. It's not up to me, is it? So it's up to the powers that be. Or Turkey Al Sheikh, who's making the fights happen, regardless of what you think of the Saudi situation. From a fan's perspective, I think he's doing a good job making the fights happen that fans want to see. It's like winding the clock back to the 90s when big fights were happening, weren't they? All the time, regular good cards on the go. So, but it's good to see it happen again. And well done, Turkey Al Sheikh, for making it happen, or helping make it happen. So that just leaves number 1, who I've already mentioned, is Alexander Usyk. The undisputed, well, until he had to relinquish the IBF belt that Dubois now holds in order to face Fury again in the rematch. So what will happen in that fight? Like I've said, you can't rule Fury out altogether. Like I say, he's been the top heavyweight for quite a long time, before eventually he succumbed to Usyk, didn't he? So, but Usyk's he's a class act, isn't he? He is a class act, and I think he might even stop Tyson Fury in the next fight. But we'll wait and see. He just can do everything, Usyk. I think I've actually got him probably as my pound for pound. I shouldn't be saying this because I might be doing a video as well for the top 10 pound for pound fighters, haven't I? But Usyk, he's got to be up there, isn't he? He's top man in my book. And I'm not a fanboy, as I've said before. I'm just a boxing fan. But you've got to recognise talent and speak about it when you see it. So for the time being, Usyk is the man until somebody can dethrone him. So whether that'll happen if somebody dethrones him, or whether he'll retire with his money and his faculties intact and his health and ride off into sunset, that would be the ideal scenario, wouldn't it? If he just did that and then leaves everybody else to pick up the pieces and start again and take it from there. Okie dokie, so that's my top 10 heavyweight boxers in the world at the current time, which is October 2024. November might change, or December it might change. Well, the big one's in December the 21st, isn't it? So that could be the next changing point, possibly, but we'll see what happens. But thanks for all your nice comments that you've been putting in videos, and liking and subscribing. Share with your pals. It's always nice to see comments. I don't always have time to answer them or reply to them, but I'll try when I can. So until the next time, that's all from me, and be happy and be healthy out there. Okay guys, take care, all the best.